In this video, let's take a look at the code for an insertion sort. And so I'm going to use an array list this time just because that makes it easier. The syntax for inserting elements into a list and having everybody slide over the list is a little bit neater than using arrays. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an outer loop that starts at the second element in the list and progresses through the end. And an inner loop is going to be checking the values behind I or in front of I and seeing if this value should get inserted ahead of any of these. So you'll see as this builds out, we'll have like a sorted portion of the list and then an unsorted portion of the list. So let me slide this over. And right now, when we start out, my sorted portion of the list is just the first element. So let me write the outer loop. It's going to support int I is equal to 0, I is less than ARR dot list dot size and I plus plus. And then for the inner loop, what we're looking to see is where should something insert. So J is going to start at 0 and it's going to go up to but not including I. So I'm going to say for int J is equal to 0, J, whoops, I is starting at 1. All right, I set it and then I didn't type that. So J is equal to, or J is less than I and J plus plus. All right. So then how do we know whether we're supposed to insert? Right. All we're going to do is we're going to take this value at this value here, and we're going to go, is it less than the value at J? And if it is, then that's where it inserts. Right. So I'm going to say if list.get I is less than list.get J, that's how we know we're insert. And this is a little bit tough to see until we get a few elements in the list, what's going on. Okay, so right now, what I'm going to do is take, I'm grabbing this element 1, and is the 1 less than the 4, which is what my index of J is, and it is. And so in that case, I'm going to insert it into that spot. And then after we do that, then my value for I will increase. So how do we insert? What I'm going to do is I'm going to say list.add, and we're adding at position J. And then what are we adding into it? I am adding, when we started, right, we're going to, the thing at position I. So, and also we want to take it out of this position and move it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say list.remove I. And this, we have to remember that the remove function, when you remove by index, this actually not only pulls it out of the list, but it returns this item. So, this is equivalent to this thing at I, all right? And so we're just putting it at a different spot on the list. So what happens after this, we'll take out the thing at I, and we insert it at position J, and insert it at position J, and this is our new list, and we have a sorted portion down here. On the next iteration of the loop, right, we're going to take the thing at 3, or the thing at position I, which is this 3, and I'm going to kind of go through here with the J, and is this 3 less than the thing at position J? No. Is this 3 less than the thing at position J now? Yes, it is. So we slide it in. Okay, and then I advances, J goes back to 0, and so we take our thing at position I, and right, which is the 6, and is it less than 1? Is it less than 3? No. Is it less than 4? No. Right? So we just leave it alone where it is. And then I goes to 5, and 5, whoops, right? Is 5 less than 1? Is 5 less than 3? Is 5 less than 4? No, no, no. And is 5 less than 6? So, yep, that's where we insert. And there we go. All right. And then finally, we go to the last value. And so we'll pull this out. And is this 2 less than 1? No. Is this 2 less than 3? Yes. And that means, that's our insertion point, right? And so by the time I got to the very end of the list, all right, we will end up with a sorted list. All right. So this is the logic of an insertion sort. Again, not something that I would expect you to be able to write just like from scratch. But if I gave you an unsorted list and said maybe after 3 iterations of the outer loop, what's the state of the list look like? That's what you should be able to do. You should be able to kind of understand the basic logic of what's going on with an insertion sort, and given some data, trace maybe a few iterations of the process. All right, so that's it for sorting methods that we need to know. And if you have questions, let me know.